Each question of each candidate, any unit owner may ask 2 questions and get an answer from the candidate on those 2 questions. Questions that will be out of order will be questions about grievances that a unit owner may have, real or fancied. This is to the candidates and their qualifications and whatever else you feel that you want to ask them. So it'll be limited. This is not a town hall meeting or a place to air complaints or grievances. So each candidate will be have the opportunity to answer any unit owner who decides to question them. 2 questions per candidate. The order in which the candidates will speak has been determined randomly by a pick of numbers. The candidate with number 1 is Michael Schenkel. Mr. Schenkel?
Yes. Hello, I'm Michael Schenkel, for those of you who don't know me. I'm a former board member, and I've been a volunteer in the village for about 12 years. I own 3 apartments here, which are an important part of my retirement plan, and I certainly have a lot of interest in the village and seeing it become what it will be. I'm from upstate New York, graduated from the University of Buffalo, degree in sociology, 25 years in Manhattan in the garment district, wholesale, retail, and marketing. Here in the village, if I have a platform that I'm running on, it would be ethics and accountability, which we can use more of. I'd also like to see the water conservation program that I initiated 2 years ago. That will be my pet project for wasting tens of thousands of dollars every month on water. And it's a combination of water conservation and flood prevention. We average about 1 apartment flood a week, about 50 a year, and a number of them most of them are preventable, but a number of them cost the owner or the owner below them thousands of dollars in insurance money or out of their pocket to repair this recurring problem. So that program of water conservation flood prevention is designed to do some preventive maintenance that can eliminate 90% of those floods. Namely, air conditioning drains. Anybody's drain ever clog up and the air conditioning overflow?
Yes.
It's a recurring problem here, and it's preventable with a simple float valve that'll shut your AC off if it happens. And if you're a snowbird and you're not here all the time, it could go on for weeks or months before you realize it, and that's where you have a lot of potential mold damage and all kinds of damage. It happens here so regularly that I can't believe that after all these years of it recurring, that someone has really addressed it. It's something I think we can say, we're spending almost $500,000 a year on water. $500,000 a year. And that's actually about $100,000 more a year than we were spending 2 years ago. Each building has a water meter, and unfortunately, because we don't have meters on each apartment, people aren't as conscientious as they should be. So that'll be a pet project of mine, and I think we can save $100,000 a year on water. It's literally going down the toilet. That's about it, other than, I think we need to know where we stand financially. I'm kind of one of those people that doesn't write a check until I balance my checkbook. And right now we can't get a balance. So that's one of the first priorities will be, we don't even have a budget for 2011, which is supposed to be completed, should have been completed 2 months ago, and we don't even have a budget So before we can do the 2011 budget, we have to know how much money we owe, accounts payable, year-to-date figures from the previous year, and a realistic budget that can be balanced. Because we're losing, through delinquent maintenance, we're losing a lot of money in the last few years. There's ways to address that, there's tools to address that, namely some of the new laws which allow the association to collect rent from the tenants of delinquent owners. Foreclosure is a possible option which has already taken place, but then you take on a lot of responsibility in terms of maintenance, and the banks are going to come eventually in most cases and take it away from you. So if you lease it, somebody you lease it to has to be prepared to leave in 30 days. But there are ways to collect a lot more money than we're collecting right now, and some of those are the result of new laws. And actually, being familiar with our condo docs is very important to participating on this board. And I mean, I've read them 100 times, and, I've participated in the changes, many of the changes that are in there in recent years. And the laws that govern condos in Florida, Chapter 718, 63B, it's required that all board members become familiar with it and commit to learning the docs and the laws. It's a requirement by the state that you have this education. And, okay.
We're going to wait till the end before the candidates speak. Okay, next we have Mariette Van Rye.
Go in the pool. Don't go in the pool.
Don't trip on, don't trip on the camera.
People in the audience to please refrain from talking when they're speaking. We came to hear them. There are people
Oh, yeah,
out
please.
here talking.
Please, I didn't hear it, I don't hear it too well, but I guess there's people in the background talking, so be quiet so that the other...
I want to understand there, and I want to see what's going on with the budget. And just like Michael said, we are going to have a good look at that and see what we can come up with. What will be a win-win situation, especially if we can save a lot of money with the water that is good for all. I have no personal agenda. I am an owner in an IM. I don't really want to be on the board, but I get to be on this board. Thank you.
Third speaker will be Charles Fitzpatrick. I'll bring it over to you.
Good evening, folks. My name is Charlie Fitzpatrick. I'm just a regular guy from Canada. I own a couple of units here. I came down to International Village, to be honest with you, strictly for investment purposes, but a funny thing happened to me on the way. I fell in love with the place. And I made some good friends, and talking to these friends and the interactions I've had with them, they've encouraged me to run for the board. I have 4 very specific things that I'd like to see that we do a lot better. Number 1 is we as board members, or the board of directors, are the custodians and the caretakers for all the owners of the International Village. Number 2, I think that we as the owners should have a better understanding and grasp of our financial situation and should be reported to more frequently, not only once a year, but on a quarterly basis. Number 3, I think that such a beautiful ambiance that we have here in the village, that we should be able to create a much better social environment. There's so many things that we can do together and have fun and become friends and neighbors that we should be. And number 4, one that I think is very important, is that we have rules and regulations. They are not only words written on paper. They should be our guideline. That's our Bible. This is what makes us what we should be, which is an association run by rules and regulations for all unit owners. Thank you very much.
The fourth speaker will be Francis Mizora.
Thank you. I think that a lot of people here have come to know me. I know that there are some who don't. The problem with speaking later rather than earlier is that I'm going